Greetings men, greetings women. And now what's another bait and switch that they use? Well, this one's about TV series. You know, a lot of those shows that you watch on HBO and all the rest of the big cable outlets. You know, I don't watch TV much, so I'm not going to be using the right jargon here, but you get the picture. The TV shows you see are along the same vein. It's another bait and switch technique. The differences with TV shows is the bait and switch is normally over a long story arc. When you're watching a movie, the movie's only like an hour and 20 minutes to 2 hours long, and not much over that in general. So the story arc will be much shorter when you come to the bait, when you come from the bait to the switch. Now on a TV series, a TV show, the story arc could take the story arc can go over several seasons. Depending on what the big shots say, it could be the switch will come 2, 3, or even 4 seasons into the run of the actual TV show. Something that was being discussed on one of the forums was Game of Thrones. Oftentimes when I talk to people and I tell them what I like if I'm watching TV or if I'm watching a movie, they'll say, "Oh, you got to watch Game of Thrones. You got to watch Game of Thrones. It's really good. You'll love it." You know, as much as I love the whole fantasy genre, and I mean, I was raised on it as a kid, and I still like a lot of the fantasy genre. When I watched a few of the episodes of Game of Thrones, I wasn't that impressed. You know, I mean, there are some elements that I really like about it. I like the daredevil aspect of it. The fact it's an adult show. It caters to the adult demographic. It caters to the white demographic. And it also has whites being badasses in it. You know, they're pretty badass. You know, the savvy, the fighting, the warrior, aristocracy's there. And not bad, okay, I get that. It ticks boxes for that. But Game of Thrones does the same thing. It's the same bait and switch technique. Its method isn't so much to demasculize the warrior ethic, the white element of it. It is more to make it almost a degenerate aspect. All these nobles, all these characters, you know, these high-end characters, you know, we're talking the elites in this world of the set, are all scheming, shrewish, backstabbing, conniving, mendacious, really Machiavellian or Italian strategist, that real cunning bastard. You know, they're all like this in it. And I mean, it's come from this guy, this author, okay? And what I've noticed, another thing about these TV shows that are written from the books, they don't pick these guys at random. They don't suddenly look at these guys and say, "Oh, wow, this book looks good to go on a TV show." No, trust me. They pick the one that they will suit their agenda. And that agenda, to keep people from waking up and to basically be bred in circuses, while at the same time pushing the agenda of cultural Marxism. What do you know, this Game of Thrones, that's got another element of it in, you know, we're up to what, season 7, season 8 now, and by now the switch has fully happened. You've got a lot of homosexual flipping content in it, there's loads of nudity on it, and now some people say, "Oh, you're being a prude, you know, surely a TV show should have nudity." Sure, it should have some nudity, but we're not talking about just some nudity. It's absolutely rampant. And it's done in a really trashy, tasteless, pornographic manner. You can do nudity, but you can do it tastefully, you know. And when it's not, it doesn't need to be tasteful and necessary to a scene, okay, but it's just rampant, perverted nudity. You know, even a director's apparently turned around and said, you know, he tried to make a tasteful Game of Thrones episode, and he was told no. He says this has got to be like a perverted nudity, you know. And this is what they do. This is another bait, and this is the switch. And the icing on the cake with Game of Thrones is, and by the way, when I took a look at the author who wrote Game of Thrones, he was setting my radar off. And I'm not talking about like what his background was, what his ethnicity was. It was like his ideology. I could just tell the ideology of this guy is because he's anti-white. And what do you know? The guy's turned around and said he's for mass immigration, or for Syrian refugees, so-called Syrian refugees, into Europe, into America. Now, that is just the clear and present danger sign. They know that this guy who writes this series is going to be anti-white. I don't care how much it has white actors in it, and male and female, You know, I don't care. I couldn't care less if the whole cast was white. If it's got an anti-white message or something that is putting out like a tarnishing to it, it's not worth our time. It's not worth our effort to go and watch it. And yes, there are good battle scenes in it. They thought was pretty good and everything. But that's it. The bait and the switch is bait and switch. It's like bait and switch. Now we're going to bait you again. Now we're going to switch you again. Bullshit. Absolute crap. You know? Okay, so I've spoken about the bait and switch. What would we be looking for if there wasn't a bait and switch? I'll talk about that too. Here we go. The hero is in a multicultural chaos. He knows something's wrong. He's got like this wise advisor telling him, that he needs to keep fighting against the ethnocentric people of a certain area, and that he's doing the right thing even though he's maybe white himself. He's got to like serve this multicultural agenda, and but slowly but surely the guy's waking up and he realizes something's wrong. The hero knows that something is amiss in the world, so he starts doing some digging and research, and he uncovers the plan to genocide all white European males and to keep the females to be bred out of existence, and all of a sudden he's leading the insurrection. He's leading a counter-revolution, a counter-attack against this multicultural one world race nightmare being unleashed upon the world. That would be fucking entertainment we could watch. That would be a paradigm with the situation we've got currently right now. That would be like a phoenix arising within everyone to see a show of this magnitude. It'd show all these so-called refugees ravaging and raping their way across Europe and abusing women, and the crony politicians in power who are enabling it and making secret backroom deals with all these globalist types, these George Soros types. Now that would be a real show worth watching, something that we should be, looking towards. Not this shite that they put out on flipping the airwaves right now. Not these films that Hollywood is pumping out by the trainload each year, and that's brainwashing people more and more and more. People pay money, people fuel the Hollywood industry. It's been fueled for nearly 100 years now. Nearly 100 years of Hollywood getting all this treasure. And what's more, it's not exactly giving you anything in return apart from like a short-term buzz for their long-term brainwashing agenda, which is what it is. This is the reality. This is how it is. Now, what can we do about it? Well, I've said this several times now. We need our own film studio. We need our own Hollywood. We need our own counter Hollywood. Call it Oakwood. After the holy oak tree to our ancestors who revered the oak and its properties. That's what Europeans need. That's what the alt-right needs. We need better. We need more of what we've got right now, and tenfold. We need quality. We need more quality to what's going out there. We need greater quantity, and most importantly in all, we need somebody to actually help patron it, or at least support it. Because right now, I don't see any patron coming down to help us make this happen.